What is going on, everyone? Welcome into Big Time Football Talk. So I wanted to talk about, the big question is, what are the Lions going to do at 6-18? And it's beginning to look more and more like Jalen Carter is going to be the pig at 6. It seems like most mock drafts have the Lions taken Jalen Carter at 6, which, I'll say it right now. There is the question marks with Jalen Carter right now, but, to me, there comes a time where you got to gamble on the upside. And, the Lions with Jalen Carter, when they drafted Penei Sewell, there's no red flags about Penei Sewell, but there was once upon a time before that draft that some people thought Penei Sewell was going to be the number 1 pick in that draft, or even the number 2 pick to the New York Jets. And the Lions, good fortune, they took Penei Sewell at 7. Fast forward to last year, 2022. Some people thought that maybe Aiden Hutchinson was the best player in the draft. Certainly, was up there, ended up probably was the second best defensive player behind Sauce Gardner, who won the Defensive Rookie of the Year. But many people thought, maybe Aiden Hutchinson would go first overall to the Jacksonville. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is that's 2 years in a row that the Lions got a guy that was at one point in time projected the number 1 pick in the draft. Now let's fast forward to this year. Jalen Carter at one point in time, some people thought was going to be the number 1 pick. The Bears would just sit there and take him at number 1. And now it looks like Carter, is some mock drafts he's even slipped as far as to number 9, but now it looks like the Lions picking at 6 now could get a guy that was once upon a time a projected number 1 pick. So I guess the point being is, sometimes, when you're rebuilding and you're trying to build a winning team, sometimes, things just fall in your place. When you're prepared, when you have good good general managers, good ownerships, sometimes, the more you prepare and the harder you work, and like Brad Holmes is doing, sometimes, lucky breaks tend to fall your way. And, for a long time, it seems like things just didn't go the Lions' way. Maybe this is another year things are going the Lions' way, and they're getting a guy that not only is just a dominant player, but a guy that was, projected number 1 pick at one point. But yeah, Carter would be just what the Lions need. They need, Levi Onwuzurike is another guy I forget about. He could come back this year. So, you add, Onwuzurike, Jalen Carter inside. You'll have Pascal at defensive end, Hutchinson, Houston coming off the edge. You have a chance to, really, you've made your secondary a strength in free agency. Now you have a chance to make your, your front seven or your defensive line a legitimate strength. So, yeah, Carter would be awesome at 6. But I guess the big thing for the Lions is you're gonna get 2 Tyree Wilson, Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, top 3 defensive linemen in this draft. I don't even really think that's debatable. There's some guys I haven't watched, but based on what I've seen, I've watched tape on those 3 guys. Those 3 guys are the best defensive linemen in this draft. So for the Lions, even if you sit there at 6, there's a very high chance you're going to get one of those 3 guys. Now it looks like you may have the choice of 2 of them. And, like people said, a lot of people do trust Brad Holmes. So if Tyree Wilson's their guy, then then you have to, Brad Holmes has kind of earned that trust to, if he wants to pull the trigger on Tyree Wilson, I'm all for it. So, or if he wants to pull the trigger on Jalen Carter, I'm all for it. But, yeah, the other thing with the Lions, and I was just thinking about this, like, I was listening to Colin Cowherd and Joe Klatt talk about maybe the Lions take Bijan Robinson at 18. I'm thinking to myself, there could be a scenario where the Lions get Jalen Carter at 6 and Bijan Robinson at 18, which, you make those 2 picks, and the Lions are already riding the hype train based on what they did in free agency. You make those 2 picks, And now there's a lot of people that are going to be, holy crap. The Lions are not only are they, continue to trend in the right direction, now they have really just, sounded the alarm that this, this thing is going to go down. That's a legitimate A+ first round drafting if you get Jalen Carter and Bijan Robinson. Now you can debate, do they really need another running back now? David Montgomery, they just signed David Montgomery. They have DeAndre Swift, but, Cowherd made the point too, Jamar Chase was an NFL guy playing in college. Bijan Robinson is an NFL guy playing in college. Bijan Robinson, to me, looks like a guy that could step in at day one and make a huge impact. And he really could be awesome behind the Lions' offensive line. So, you take both those guys, those are two legitimate top 5 players in this draft, blue chip players. That would be a statement. But yeah, other options, Kalijah Cansey at 18, Luke Van Ness from Iowa. I'm not sure if he's going to slip that far. He would be interesting there. Jack Campbell, the linebacker. I think he's a guy that's a second round option. But yeah, there's definitely some good routes the Lions could take with the 18th overall pick. Still should be some pretty good defensive players available to pick in the second round. But yeah, I just wanted to wrap with that. Thanks so much for tuning in to Big Time Football Talk. Make sure to stay tuned for more episodes and clips from the show. Till next time, peace.